On today's show,
we celebrate the first quarter mark of the season by handing out some NBA hardware.
Can anyone take MVP from Russ? Do the long hands of Yanni have a grip on MIP? And will Draymond steal Defensive Player of the Year from Kawhi?
And clever girl, a couple of Raptors make an appearance in our top 10 plays of the week.
It's Friday, December 9th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to the starters. Whether you're joining us live right now on NBA TV or a little bit later on YouTube, we're happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tats Mellis.
Brown pants don't go with everything.
To his right, it's the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily. Unfortunately, we're without Trey Kirby today. He had to fly home for his grandmother's funeral. We're sending our best to not only TK, but the entire Kirby family. But we're going to try and give you a good show tonight. With this, the three of us here. Top 10 plays of the week. Tass, you got a medley of worst of the week.
Yeah, there's some doozies.
And but today we start, because we've reached the quarter mark of the regular season, seems like the perfect time to hand out some NBA hardware.
Fancy.
Wow.
We got dressed up for
We
it.
clean up nice.
Trey looks best. He's not even here.
Yeah, but before we get into this, I do want to stress with these quarterly awards that we are picking the winners as of today, December 9th. This is not who we're predicting is going to win it come April and May.
Right.
This is a quarterly award.
We've already done that in our season preview. So, we start with MVP.
Yeah, the big one.
And we all agree, barring, but I don't know how, you don't right now, again, as of December 9th, pick Russell Westbrook of OKC, and all three of us think it's him.
This isn't boring, Skeets. This is something which hasn't been done in over 60 years. 60 years is a long time.
It's boring that we agree.
I understand,
Yeah.
but it's fun watching this
It's
guy.
amazing.
I can't believe this hasn't happened in 60 years. Imagine 10 years from now, we look back and see that this was the year that Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double. It's phenomenal that it hasn't been done in that long. And the fact that he's on a team that's 14-8, it kind of goes by the wayside. It doesn't really matter that he's not one of the top 5 seeds in the West. He's actually in the 6th-seeded Western Conference spot. He makes up for it because, again, those numbers haven't been seen since Oscar Robertson was doing it in an era when guys were getting up a lot more shots. 60 years. I just want to live till I'm 60 years old. And that's a long time.
Yeah, to be averaging 31 points as well, I think that really vaults him into that MVP talk right now, because some guys have gotten close. Jason Kidd's gotten close to averaging a triple-double, but it's always been with like 14 or 15 points. Westbrook's doing the bulk of the scoring for his team. He's doing the bulk of the rebounding, and he's setting up his teammates to score. And most importantly, above everything else, his team is winning. So it's actually shown that he's not just out there stat stuffing and putting up great numbers and losing. The Thunder are winning. They're on a 6-game win streak right now, and that's really what's important. He is converting all this incredible play into victories.
Yeah, 14-8 right now. You know, if they keep up that pace, which could be difficult, but if they keep up that pace, that's a 52-win season right there.
He's got to stay above 50, I think.
I 100% agree, to get it at the end of the year.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly,
with the triple-double like numbers, because I've said it. The numbers, you got to have a high seed, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Usually it has to be a 1 or 2 seed, but
Definitely,
I think 50 is enough in this case if you got a 30 triple-double.
But does 50 wins get you a top 4 seed? Is that what you think, like in the West?
Borderline.
It would be close, but I don't think it would matter if he has 30, 11, and 11 come April. Because he's got the narrative too, right? Kevin Durant left, one of the best players we've ever seen over the last at least 10 years or so. He left his squad, and he's carrying them. If you get 50 wins, that's good enough.
Yeah, last year it probably would have been fine, but in years gone by, we've seen 47, 48 wins don't even get you into the playoffs.
Sure.
You know, to win only 50 might not get you up there that high. But
Here's what's interesting to me. Who do you have second? If we all agree Westbrook is number 1 right now, who's second? Is it Westbrook light in James Harden with those numbers and his team doing well, or is it somebody else?
I think it's James Harden at this point. I feel bad for Kevin Durant, because what more can Kevin Durant do on a team that is the number 1 seed in the NBA and is likely going to be the number 1 seed throughout the entire season?
Right.
Because he doesn't have all the opportunities that Russell Westbrook and James Harden have. He doesn't have the ball in his hands the same way. He doesn't have to do that much, and I think he's happy in that instance, because his numbers are ridiculous. The true shooting percentage, because of those stats you see up there at 55 and 41%. It reminds me of LeBron and Wade and the numbers they were putting up when they were part of the super team. Sharing the ball, ridiculously efficient, and getting wins because of it. So to me, it's almost Durant, Harden, because I almost feel bad for Durant. This MVP can't go to a Golden State Warrior with the numbers the other guys are putting up. If Russ keeps it up, that is. He has to keep it up, and they have to win games.
But see, I think you're overlooking LeBron, which we tend to do, and we've done the last couple of seasons. LeBron's having a fantastic season. By his career standards, it's not that high in terms of numbers, but his impact on the game is still there. And I said to myself coming into this season, I'm not going to take for granted what we see from LeBron every night just because we've seen him do it for so many years. He's putting up 24, 10 assists, shooting the ball well, 7 rebounds. His team is 15-5 and clearly the best team in the Eastern Conference and likely to go to the conference finals. And he should never be punished just because this is the standard we see from LeBron. He's been brilliant again, and you see when he's on the floor, the impact he has, the dominance he has. Defensively, he's fantastic. Even if he doesn't have the stats that support the defensive numbers there, you just know his impact is there. And that's why I don't want to just overlook him this year and just say, we see that every year, let's look for someone else.
Yeah, Westbrook, okay, Harden, Durant, LeBron. We haven't even mentioned the back-to-back MVP. That's how crazy this race is in Steph Curry. And he would be maybe 6th or 7th on some people's list, depending where you put Chris Paul and Anthony Davis with crazy numbers, despite being it's unbelievable.
Yeah, the numbers are too much, right?
Yeah, it is wild.
The bar was so high for Steph last year as well. He's not achieving that level, but he's still arguably the Warriors' best player.
With the most important parts of the offense, I would say.
That's exactly right. All right, moving on here. Most improved player as of December 9th. Our votes. 2 of us, Lee and I, going with the Greek Freak, and Tass with maybe a bit of a shocking pick, going with Swaggy P himself.
I want to go with an old guy because I think this is almost a little bit of a disservice to pick Yanni for this award because he's going to get better. His first 4 years in the league, this is year number 4, he's gotten better in basically every category. So he's gotten better, he's grown, he's an all-star lock, he's probably going to be an all-NBA team player. That's why I don't want to pick. I want to pick an old guy that found his way again, and Nick Young is that type of guy. Last year, he was almost released. Basically, the Lakers were talking about saying goodbye to Nick Young, and all of a sudden he's turned in from a 34% shooter last year to almost 46% this year and over 40, and he plays defense. I don't know what Luke Walton did to Nick Young, but he made him a basketball player again. And again, those numbers aren't out of this world, but they're more like Nick Young should be putting up. So this is the most subjective award out there. Pick whatever you want, in terms of criteria.
That's why I hate this award. But I go Yanni because we've seen with this award over the last little stretch that voters tend to give it to someone that was good that then goes to great. Jimmy Butler comes to mind. CJ McCollum even last year. Paul George has won this award before. Kevin Love. So, yeah, it's not my favorite award, but the guy...
you're picking like the voters do,
right? Well, I just don't care, I guess, what I'm saying. But 22, 9, and 6, and the defense there with Yanni, it's wild just to take that leap, and it's not easy, and it needs to be, recognized, which I think you're right. It will probably come in an All-Star nod and an All-NBA nod, but why not an MIP too?
Ironically, he's doing it in less minutes, though, than last season. Yeah. Usually a guy takes a huge leap in minutes. That's not happened with Giannis this season. He is producing, and he has taken that leap to elite level. The Bucks are winning as well, and Jason Kidd's being very smart. He's realizing that he doesn't really have a position. Just unleash him. Just kind of let him go where he needs to go to be effective. Sometimes you see him running the point. Sometimes he's going down, posting guys up. It's like, just give him the ball. When you're that skillful and talented, he'll figure out a way to get it done.
Yeah, career highs across the board.
Those categories he's improved all 4 years. So he's just gotten better as a basketball player.
You know what would be funny, though? If he wins the award this year, then he adds a three-point shot.
Yeah.
And he goes back-to-back. Back-to-back MIPs.
He's 22 years old. Yeah. It kind of makes sense that he's getting better, right?
For sure. Who do you guys have as a runner-up or was at least in consideration for this one?
Maybe I'm just being stubborn, but I picked Miles Turner at the beginning of the year. He's a second-year player, too.
Right.
So, I mean, he's a young guy, so we're sort of in that same family. But I think Miles Turner is growing. The numbers don't have that huge growth that others do around the league because of guys getting a lot more minutes, but I think he's going to be an all-star in future years, and I can just see the growth coming right now.
Yeah, he started off the season really well, hit a bit of a patch, now he's sort of coming back. He's a very good player. I'm actually going with Harrison Barnes in Dallas. Now, he's basically just getting the opportunity that he never really got in Golden State. He's now their best player, and on offense, he's putting up 20 points a game. I mean, that he has improved, but again, he has been given an opportunity. The Mavs are obviously not having a great season, so there's not a lot of other guys to take those shots and those minutes and points away from him.
There's a lot of guys you could pick. Yeah. I think Avery Bradley needs to be in the mix as well. Yeah. His rebounding numbers alone have skyrocketed from 3 last year to 8. He's nearly the Celtics.
That's not great for the Celtics, though.
No, that's not, but he goes and gets him. He's a shooting guard. He's still all NBA defense type material, and he's giving you 18 and 8, and he's shooting 40% from 3. I'm just throwing him in the mix.
I know. I'm just
bringing him to the table. I think we got time for one more, though. We'll go Defensive Player of the Year. And this one usually comes down to two guys over the last couple of years at least, and that's what we're doing here. Lee, what's up with you and I agreeing here on everything? You and I have Kawhi Leonard. Tess going with Draymond Green. Again, this isn't the future. This is right now.
I think Draymond Green means more to the Golden State Warriors in terms of the way they play on the floor, because he is their energy, he is their drive. You saw what happened on Thursday night. He went off the floor because he hurt his ankle against the Utah Jazz. The team just kind of fell apart because he is everything on that team defensively. He makes them go, and I don't think Kawhi does that in the same way. I mean, Kawhi is obviously the best perimeter defender there is in the league, bar none. Green does a little bit more 1 through 5. I just think he is a little bit more of an engine, so maybe a little bit more important, although I don't know how you can really take anything from Kawhi.
I mean, he's a two-time defending champ already, Defensive Player of the Year, Kawhi, and I think, again, no one passes the eye test for me better than Kawhi does. He's just an intimidating defender. Guys hate it when he's near them. He goes out there and just does this sort of stuff where he actually takes the ball away from opponents, just takes it out of their hands. Not a lot of other guys do that when they're getting steals. They kind of fill the lane or they read the defense. He actually goes out there and creates defensive plays that don't always show up in the box score as tremendous numbers. He might only do it once or twice a game. But I think when you see a guy doing that, he is just showing that he is such an important defensive player for his team that it can't be overlooked. He's amazing.
Yeah, you can go back and forth with these guys. A lot of the big guys, too, need some consideration in Gobert and DeAndre and Drummond and Marc Gasol even. That's MVP Most Improved and Defensive Player of the Year, but to hear what we think about Coach of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, and Joel Embiid's Rookie of the Year, go to the Drop Podcast. We recorded that earlier this morning. It's on iTunes and Google Play. Got into a whole lot of detail about all of those picks and more. But when we come back, top 10 plays still to come and a medley of Worst of the Week. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the show. Now's the point of the week where we hand out the dishonor to someone in the NBA family that has done wrong in the eyes of the starters. It's time for the Worst of the Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Worst of the Week.
Now, there wasn't one clear-cut winner for Worst of the Week, but there were 5 gems. That's why we're going to count down our 5 Worst of the Week nominees. Starting with number 5 here, Draymond Green's kick, specifically the one on rookie Marquise Chris. Sort of got him in the backside, but he gets him in the hand.
That's natural.
Yeah, natural act. Quite the natural act.
See that all the time.
This hand doesn't look very natural, though.
Ugh.
That's Marquise Chris's hand.
Get some lotion on that hand.
A couple of days later. At number 4, Meyers Leonard just wants his name pronounced properly. In Chicago Monday, PA announcer was calling him Miles over and over. So after a foul, Meyers decided to take it in his own hands. It's Myers! Hey! Myers! Get it right over there. Come on.
Mike.
Do your job. Number 3, Kings making questionable choices. After the game in Philly was canceled due to the wet floor, Barnes and Cousins told their fans they'd fill their newfound free time with Hennessy and cheesesteak on Snapchat. They guaranteed some partying fun on the plane that was heading to Boston with an off day to follow. Yeah, we'll give them that. But hey, we're just boozing. Yeah, FYI. At number 2, the continued infighting within the New York Knicks. Phil Jackson started off through the media on Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo, a lot of the times, wants to hold the ball. We have a rule, if you hold a pass for 2 seconds, you benefit the defense. So he has a little bit of a tendency to hold it 3, 4, 5 seconds, just like Phil has a bit of a tendency to talk about it. And then Carmelo Anthony, via Instagram, said ego is the only requirement to destroy any relation, so be a bigger person and talk about it on Instagram. And then Friday at Shoot Around had some more comments.
If it was something that he wanted to address, or he had a stance on something, I mean, the doors has always been kind of open both ways. If it was something that he felt we could do better, I could do better. We talked about that, and it's always been good conversations when we talk. So I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, it is confusing. They have to keep it in-house, and this may have should have been kept in-house as well here. At number 1. This is during a basketball game. The Cavs are doing the water bottle challenge. I'm not sure who's the worst, though. Is it the Cavs, because they're doing it, chanting Fry's embarrassed by it? Or is it the Knicks, who allowed this to happen on their home floor?
Or is it LeBron, who's not very good at the water bottle challenge?
That's a good call.
He does like 3 or 4 here. He didn't come close to it.
He passes over to Kyrie, who's good at it.
Yeah. Come on, Kyrie.
Listen in for the buzzer here. He hits it. Bam!
Oh, yeah.
Perfect timing.
Wow.
Clutch. Yeah. So 5. 5 goodies.
Wow. 5 solid ones there. At least some good did come of the water bottle challenge, though. We saw Trey Kirby
Oh,
on
yeah.
yesterday's show.
Crushed it.
He sticked one. Now, it took a couple goes too. But once he got real casual with it, watch this. Yeah. Teapotted it. Yeah. Once you throw that teapot
amazing,
arm
yeah.
on there, just drops it. Little dance. Lee was pumped. Lee was pumped.
I didn't think he was going to do it. He nailed it.
The Sixers too just released this video. Probably they saw what the Knicks were doing, they're like, or the Cavs were doing. They're like, oh, we got to get this out here.
That looks like a heavy bottom bottle.
Wow.
You know,
the
like
double.
look, this doesn't impress me. This is edited.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Trey was doing it on live TV, man. That's when the pressure's on. Okay, that was pretty funny though with Holston.
Oh.
Yeah, the double is good.
Okay, that was pretty bad. Yeah, that's not bad. All right, we gotta take a break. When we come back, we're gonna count down the starters' top 10 plays of the week. I say this every week, but man, this one is loaded. I'm not lying this time. I've been
way.
lying all the other times. Welcome back to the starters, where it's now time for our top 10 plays of the week. Let's get into it at number 10. What can Brown do for you? He can dunk all over your head. Jaylen
shorts, man.
Brown, yeah. Who wears short shorts? Dun, 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 dun. Vucevic gets put on a poster by Celtics rookie Jaylen Brown. Oh, that's nice.
Beautiful.
I heard this one was loaded. It is. We've got 10 great plays at number 9. LeBron James flying down the right side. Oh, throws it down. And
That's at 9?
yeah, and he was bumped a little bit.
It's almost the Grant Hill one. Ali.
Oh, from the opening of Inside Stuff. It
Yeah.
used to be in that clip. Yeah, good call. At number 8. We have a layup? What? Yeah, it's that nice. From Ish Smith, showing off his speed in transition. Then he gets to the basket with a beautiful swooping reverse.
Oh, yeah.
Little English.
Finally getting a layup in the top 10.
Watch this Toronto Husky DeMar DeRozan come out of nowhere. They couldn't do that back in the 40s. Just throw down.
Oh, man. Poor Rubio.
That's mean.
Oh.
In the last minute of the game. Oh, man.
Oh, let's stick with the Raptors. It's Jakob Poeltl. The huge dunk in transition against the Hawks. Just killing the Hawks at this point. Teenage Mutant Ninja Poeltl. Cowabunga, dude. Big dunk
loved
from
it.
the Rook. The Rook showing up in this top 10. I love it.
At number 5, Dario Saric drops Jonas Jerebko. And then he sings, "Is it too late to say Saric?
Oh, boom.
Because you're missing more than just your ankles." Oh,
It
that's
just
mean.
collapses.
Yeah, yeah.
Number 4. Inbounds play. Spurs. Jonathan Simmons.
Oh, boy.
Skies here. Look how high he gets. And I mean, we're gonna do a top 10 at the end of the year. Simmons could be in 3 or 4 of these.
I know.
Yeah.
Every highlight seems to make our show.
At number 3, the Warriors are having fun now, aren't they? Look at that lob. That's beautiful set play. Jump ball, doesn't touch the floor. They travel 85 feet or whatever it is. Glorious.
Is this very solidly or what?
Glorious.
Did you decide
Very
yet?
solid
Have
play.
you decided?
That was a very solid play.
Yeah, very solid.
Yeah, very.
Sexy, but solid.
Crazy stuff. Thursday night, TNT, Wolves Huskies in the all-dog matchup, but it's the Big Cat stealing the show. Karl Anthony Towns
Nice.
puts it down on Valanciunas.
Catman do.
Oh man, I hate you, man. I really hate you.
Catman, don't next time. How about
Please
that?
stop doing that.
At number 1, watch this Victor Oladipo throw down on Dwight Howard. Oh, he's got it just in the air, and he still throws it down. Two
And
hands.
he lost his gum though. It was costly that dunk.
That's like very Neek-like.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted to throw down
There
in
it
the
is.
slam dunk competition, if you remember, like a 360 two-hander.
And not only does he drop the Kathmandu, while we're doing the highlights, he looks over at me. Like he looks, you saw him, he's looking at me. Like, you ready?
Waiting,
You ready?
waiting.
I'm gonna say Kathmandu. And then he says it.
Ready to pounce like a cat.
Oh, get out of here. Let me come back. Look at this. Very solid play.
Oh man.
Very solid pause.
Fridays.
Back with the show, last night's pick and play was the Blazers and Grizzlies. I don't know if you saw this one. The Blazers were up 11 points with like 3.5 maybe to go in the game. And the Grizzlies, because they are the Grizzlies, refused to lose a close game. They got back into it, of course, and they ended up winning it in regulation.
Grizzlies won't die.
So Trey picks up the win. The rest of us take an L on that one. Tonight's game, it's the Rockets at the Thunder. That's a good one on ESPN. with some of those MVP candidates in Westbrook and Harden going at it. Tass likes Harden and the Rockets' chances. The three of us will go with OKC at home. Russ, by the way, going for his 7th straight triple-double, and OKC going for their 7th straight consecutive win.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. All right, Lily, VSP.
Going up to Tirana, and it's a boomerang from Kyle Lowry. Check out the ball movement here. Over to Kyle for a swish bomb of his own. But check out the pass here from Norman Powell. Look at this. Left hand.
Nice.
That keeps it moving. That's over to Kyle. That's beautiful. That's what I call a very solid play.
Good stuff.
Now it's time for the highlight that wasn't just because a play wasn't converted doesn't mean it wasn't beautiful. This one, it wasn't converted, but it was a great play here by rookie Troy Williams. Now he misses the shot, but watch him fly back on D to make the glorious steal. He looks like Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
The great catch there.
Whoa! I'll be honest.
Beautiful editing.
We thought about putting this in the top 10.
Yeah.
That was that amazing defensive play.
But there wasn't a highlight at the other end, right?
I get it.
That's why it's a highlight that wasn't. We still saw it, Skeets.
Told you earlier in the show, had a lot of fun handing out the rest of the awards, all the awards, on our Drop podcast this morning. It's up on iTunes and Google Play. And we also, off of Draymond's kicking controversy, we had Lee tell us something unusual about his body. I believe we have a quick clip.
Well, my eyes are just super sensitive to anything.
Like a couple nipples.
Yeah, and anything they react to, shampoo, makeup, wipes.
Well, I think everyone, if they get shampoo in their eyes.
No, but I'm not talking in my eye, I'm talking about under my eye. Like, they get really red and crusty.
Well, makeup
and
with
disgusting.
you for sure.
Yeah. I once got knocked back from a nightclub. The bouncer wouldn't let me in. He thought I was off my head. I drove there that night because my eyes were so red.
Really?
Yeah.
And he was like, you're messed
He said,
up.
nah,
This guy's
man,
messed
nah,
up.
you've had too much. I had to go and get my car and drive around in front of him to show him that I drove. He still wouldn't let me in.
That's a weird thing.
It really doesn't prove anything, right?
No, but it says, like, look, I drove here. Here's my car. Would I do this?
There's that and a whole lot of other great Lee Ellis stories on today's Drop. This man, he's the most interesting man in the world. I truly believe that. Big news, guys. All this weekend, access your free preview of NBA League Pass. You can watch live games on your TV, computer. You can stream them on your devices like the new NBA app. So there you go. League Pass all weekend long if you don't have it. It's NBA TV Saturday night, doubleheader, Heat and Bulls. Pelicans and Clippers. Coverage begins at 7:30. Enjoy that. We'll be back on Monday.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, there are two types of NBA fans. Ones that cheer for one team and ones like that.
Praise the weekend, people.